so we're going to be going over Piper's portion of the go home video. So right now Piper's on place. On place, she has the freedom to walk around, she can sit, lay down, she can do whatever she wants on the bed as long as she doesn't break the rules. The rules are no barking, no chewing on the bed, and no getting off of the bed until you are told free. So when she's on the bed, when you have Piper and Tuffy together, I recommend giving rewards directly to their mouth versus putting the reward on the bed, because they'll tend to fight over, or not fight over the food, but try and get to the food first. And we want to make sure we distribute the treats evenly. So if Piper were to get off of the bed, I would say no. I would mark the behavior with a no, and then press the red button on your receiver. So it's the red button right here, and I would just give it a little tap. Anytime Piper does something that you do not like, you are going to say the word no and press the red button. She is at level 20, if that shows up. She's at level 20 out of 100, which isn't uncommon, especially for puppies that get distracted. So anything she does that we don't like, no, pop, and it gives her a little correction. What I'm going to demonstrate next is loose leash walking around the room, along with door manners on the back door over there. So I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see the door. There we go. And we are going to go ahead and get started. So to get Piper off place, you can see her in the bottom corner here. What we're going to do is reward her for being on place, so good place. Give her a treat. We're going to go ahead and grab the leash since we're going right into leash walking, and I'm going to tell her free, along with giving her a little bit of body language to let her know to get off the bed. Free. She follows me. Heel. Heel. No. So if she tries to walk ahead, I say no, and I push the button. Heel. No. Heel. Good job. Heel. Heel. Good job. Good heel. We're going to go ahead and do door manners. Heel. Sit. Sit. Free. Good job. Okay, good job. She's excited. Place. Good girl. Place. So let's fix our camera. Again. Can you see her? Perfect. So now what we are going to do is the lay down portion of the go home video. So she does a really good job at staying in the down. She struggles a little bit with understanding to go actually lay down. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. Free. So we first tell her down, and then we gently, there you go, she did a really good job that time. When you reward for this command, you want to make sure the reward is nice and low. Good down. She has to stay in the down until we release her with that F-R-E-E word. So she has to stay in the down no matter where I go. This command is really helpful if you wanted to take Piper and Tuffy to a dog-friendly event or restaurant, making sure they're under control and not having to have your place bed with you. Good down. Good job. Doing all these crazy movements to make sure she stays. Good down. Free. I'm going to demonstrate it one more time. Make sure she's down. And if she doesn't, you would just tug the leash a little bit towards the ground. She did a great job there. Good down. Free. You're free. Good job. Place. So I'm going to put her back on place. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and unhook her leash. Now when you practice come when called in a new environment or outside, I highly recommend using the 30-foot long line that we supply to you. This is going to ensure her safety in case she decides to run after a squirrel or go after something she shouldn't. So what I'm going to do, free, you're free, free, help her off. I'm going to move the place bed because Piper tends to want to jump on it. I'm going to give her freedom to kind of run around the room, and I'm going to call her to me. You've seen this in a lot of the YouTube video updates I've already sent you, but just to show you what it should look like. Free. You're free. Piper, come. Good girl. Sit. Good job. Free. Free. Piper, come. Good girl. Sit. 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 Now what you can do, if you call the Piper, no, come. Free. Come. Sit. Sit. Down. You can do more than one command at a time. So you can call Piper to you, put her in a down, down, and now she needs to stay. What you can also do is put her in a down and then call Piper to you. So Piper, free, come, free, come. Good job. Sit. Down. Help her with a little bit of leash pressure. Down. Good job. Good. Down. I drew a little circle around her. Down. She does like to rotate. Down. Down. As long as she gets back into the down, I'm not going to correct that as long as she stays in the same spot. Good. Down. Free. Free. You're free. Come here. Here we go. Free. Free. There you go. So dogs are all about body language. So if she's struggling a little bit with the word free, just give her a little bit of let's go kind of body language to encourage her to get up. But you did a great job. Now we'll get Tuffy for his portion. Okay, so now we're going to be doing Tuffy's portion of the go home video. What I forgot to mention with Piper is that you can use plays for anything. You can use plays for when you're eating, for when guests are coming over, or for when Tuffy tries to play too much with Piper. And by that I mean he's gotten a little frisky and fresh with her lately, trying to hump her and mount her. Right now it's strictly playful, but here in the near future as he matures it will become sexual, and you don't want an unplanned pregnancy at any point. So this is just to kind of keep them under control, especially when you're eating. You don't want them begging, and to also put them on a routine with their potty training schedule. A lot of times puppies just want to sneak off, go to the bathroom, and hopefully not get caught. With the place bed, that prevents that. You can have total control and you know where they're at all times without having to banish them to a crate at any point. So he's on place, they stay, no matter what's going on. Place, you just give little reminders. Place. Opening the door. Different stuff like that. Good place. So again, the rules are you can do anything you want on the bed, except for break the rules, which the rules are chewing on the bed, vocalizing or getting off before being told so. If they break any of these rules, it's a simple no, and give a correction on the remote collar. Place. So with Tuffy, he is the black button on the remote collar. So if he does anything that you don't like, you just say no, tap this black button right here, and it will stimulate him at level 30. Which isn't a lot out of 100. He needs a little bit more than Piper just because of his personality. He seems to get a little bit more distracted easier. So when dogs are distracted, their pain tolerance goes up. Thus, we need more remote collar. And I'm going to explain this to you in person, and I'll also do a quick little video on what all the buttons do with the collars off the dog so they aren't getting stimulated for no reason. So what I'm going to demonstrate next is loose leash walking. So I will free him off his place bed, walk around, do a little bit of door manners, and then we will come back. So I always go forward, good place, good job. Grab his leash. I will say free, Heel. Good job. Heel. Good boy. Oh, heel. If he tries to go behind me or not where I want him, it's just a simple no and tap of the remote. Heel. Good job. Sit. Good boy. Sit. Sit. Free. Good job. Good boy. Heel. What I'm going to have him do is lay down. Down. If he doesn't, it's just a simple no. Down. And we kind of put a little bit of pressure on the leash down. Now again, just like with Piper, he's really good at staying down. It's the getting down where he has just a little bit of trouble now and then. Whenever you do something distracting or distraction goes by, remind them down to set them up for success. Down. And weirdly, his leash came unclipped, but that's fine. We're going to move on to the off-leash portion soon anyway. When you reward for them being in a down, make sure it's nice and low. Good job. I'm going to put this leash back on to show you down one more time. Down. Free. Down. A little bit of pressure. Down. You can bend over and pull the leash down. This just saves our back from having to get so low. Good, down. Free. Place. Good boy. So what I'm going to do is take his leash off, put it off to the side, place. I'm then going to release him from the bed, let him run around and do a few come when called. We do have a new distraction here from Piper's. We do have a dog in one of the crates off to the side, so he might be a little distracted by that. That's totally fine. Good place. Free. And if they get caught on the bed again, just help them with the tap. Free. Good job. I'm gonna put the place bed up just because he likes it a lot. I want to make sure he explores and runs around a little bit. So he's running around out of camera sight. Tuffy, come. Good boy. Sit. I did not push the remote collar at all. Sit. Free. I just have my hand ready in case he decides not to listen to the command. You're free. Free. Tuffy, come. Sit. Good job. Sit. Free. He's getting a little drink of water, so I'm going to let him drink for a little bit, then I'll call him to me and put him in a down, like we did with Piper. Tuffy, are you drinking? Come here. Good boy. Down. Down. Good job. Down. So now we're going to call him to us. Free. Tuffy, come. Good boy! Good job. Good job. Free. Good boy, Tuffs. Good job. Good job. Alrighty. And next we're going to go over the remote collar and what the buttons are and how everything works. Okay, so now we're going to talk about their remote collar. So how to turn the collar on. On the back, you're going to see a big button in the middle right here. You're going to push and hold until you see a blue light. Now, it should show an M. Let's see. Yep, an M, and 30 means Tuffy, right? So if I get that to light up again, that's Tuffy's level, and he is the black S button. If I want to toggle, which just means switch from Tuffy to Piper, I can push the black T button over here. If I push it once, it'll come up with this symbol. This symbol means vibrate. So if I push Tuffy or Piper, it will vibrate their collars. You can use this as a warning. I typically don't use it that often, but you can. To finish toggling, you push it again. Now I'm at Piper's, which should read 20. I know it's backwards due to the phone, but it will read 20 with an M. That just means no matter how long my finger is on the button, that little tap is all they receive. So it's just a little tap of a momentary correction of, I didn't like what you're doing, tap, don't do that. Or you messed up on the command, no big deal, tap, we'll move on. So turning on their collars. This is Tuffy's collar. You can see that it has a little bungee strap to grow with him. You can also adjust the size of the collar with the belt buckle right here. I left extra room so it can get really big. You just put this around his neck, snap, just like that. Before you put it on him, you want to turn the collar on. There's a little red dot right here. This is the magnet that turns on the collar. The key to that magnet is on the remote. So you touch the two together. I'm going to do that again. So you're going to touch the two together and you're going to see a green light right here. The green light means it's on and it's charged. It'll flash green every so often to let you know, hey, I'm turned on and I'm charged. Just shut the collar off, touch it. Red light means it's off. If it's flashing red, that means that the remote is about to die. They usually take anywhere from 1 to 3 hours to charge. There is a manual in the box, so if you need help with anything. The charging port is underneath here. You just move that leather tab. Make sure you put that leather tab back when you put it on your pups. That way it remains waterproof. So I'm going to turn this back on, touch it. See the green light flash. What I'm going to show you is the flashlight feature on this remote. Where that's at is the back right here. You are going to push it. Oh, I'm sorry. It has to be on that dog. So it was on dog number 2, which is Piper. Toggle, go back to Tuffy, dog number 1. Push the back light, which is also the on and off button. So it's, if you just tap it when you're trying to turn the remote on, you're going to turn the flashlight on. Tap it one more time and it shuts off completely. So with Tuffy, no, push it. That red light was the little tap that he's going to feel. No, pop, and then ask the command again. Same thing for Piper. We turn the remote on the same way. So hers is right here. I'll go ahead and unclip this just so it's easier. Turn it on. There we go. There's a green light flashing, so it's going to flash to let us know, hey, I'm on, I'm charged. We toggle, so we push the T button, the black T button, push it, and we get it to dog number 2, which is Piper. That's when we can turn the flashlight on, so this big button in the back. This is really helpful at night. In the wintertime, it gets dark a lot faster. So just to have a light on them so you can kind of see them. Their hair kind of covers it up, but for the most part, you can tell the flashlight is on. Push it one more time to turn it off. That button, if you push and hold it, that big button, also turns the remote off. Now, the remote does not have to be on to turn the collars on. It's done through a magnet, so it doesn't interfere at all if the remote's off. Turn the remote off, the collars are still on. So I turn the, whoops, show you right here. Turn the collar on, turn the collar off, and the remote is still off. This little button right here, this M/C, this changes it from momentary stimulation to continuous stimulation. In the beginning when we were training, we used continuous stimulation to teach the dogs to escape the pressure by doing the command faster. Now that they're more advanced, we have them avoid the pressure completely, which is avoidance conditioning, so we increase the level, and then we only apply it if they mess up. So eventually, we fade these out. That's the end goal, is we fade out the collars, and they just listen without them. It takes a dog about 2 weeks to learn a behavior, 4 to 6 months for that behavior to become long term. So your job is to stay really consistent for these next 4 to 6 months. I highly recommend working with them separate along with together, just because they're still young, they're still trying to find their own self, find their personality. So make sure that you work with them, give them separate time. That'll also set you up for success to work with them individually and then gradually work with them together. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out. But that is your remote collar information. I don't think I forgot anything. The one thing I can show you, I'll turn the collar back on. This little dial increases the level, but what I did was I locked it. How you unlock it is you push down and hold it. It's unlocked. You can adjust the level. It goes up to 100. You will never need 100. So let me lock it down. We were on Piper, so 20. Push and hold. And it locks it in place. You don't accidentally increase or decrease. One thing I didn't show you is the boost feature. So let's say Tuffy is trying to hump Piper. So we give him a correction at level 30, it's not working. What we can do is push and hold level 30 and then touch Piper's button. What that will do will increase his stimulation by 35. So that'll give him a level 65 stimulation. So we push and hold his button, and then we push Piper's button, and that will stimulate him at a boost level. If he's doing something really inappropriate, like trying to hump her or trying to eat poop or anything like that. Same thing with Piper. If we push and hold her button, level 20, and we add pressure to Tuffy's, it will increase hers by 15%. This is if she takes off after a squirrel or just isn't listening. I haven't had to use her boost. I have used Tuffy's for trying to eat poop and trying to hump his sister. That is the only other feature that I forgot to mention. The charging port is on the back, and the charger you get does have 3 different prongs, so you can charge all of them at the same time. Alrighty, that is it for the remote collar work, and if you have any questions, let me know.